Yeah, big talking Brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Big talking Brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Kicking back, having a few beers, we're chatting. Pull up your chair, we're all relaxing. Any subject, we never dismiss. Big talking Brewskis with Marissa Smith. Comedy, sex, relationships, more. Any subject, we got it in store. Big talking Brewskis is coming in live. Crack one open, Marissa has arrived. Big talking Brewskis with Marissa Smith. Yeah.
Hey guys, happy Friday! This is Big Talking Brewskis. I'm Marissa Smith. As always, I've got Rodney Daniels with me.
What's up, guys? Happy Friday.
We've got Dara Jamot with us.
Hello, hello, hello.
We've got Sam Kazikian with us.
Oh, hello.
And we've got Dylan Negri with us.
Yes, hello, hello, hello.
So, Rodney, how's your week been?
My week's been good. You know, I've just been working, and then I think I'm in love.
What?
Yeah,
Ah.
No, like, for real?
I got a new boo. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So this guy that I've been working with.
Cuffing season is for
cuffing
real.
season is for real.
It's always winter. You always
I know,
Seriously.
right?
Every girl doesn't ghost around winter.
Right.
Everyone answers.
So yeah, last night we actually cuddled.
Ooh,
Like
Nice.
we didn't have sex. We cuddled.
that's romantic.
That sounds,
Yeah.
that sounds bad.
Like it was,
Sam's like, he's like, that's my first. That's when I know to run.
Red flag.
right. Red flag. Red flag. But I don't know. We're like taking it like mad slow because I'm his first guy he's ever been with.
Ooh.
So this is like
Is he out to his family?
no.
Okay.
Nobody.
He's not out to himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really out himself. No,
Got it.
right.
How long have you guys
Yeah.
been talking?
It's been a couple of months now.
Okay.
We had like some rocky moment where like he like ghosted me on Instagram and then like all of a sudden had a girlfriend.
Ooh.
Oh.
Right. I was like really upset about it, so I just outed him at work.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And he
He still stuck
still-
around and didn't punch me in the face.
Wow.
Sounds like a winner.
That does
Yeah.
sound like a winner.
Right?
So you guys haven't done the.
Is that
We
like?
have.
Oh, okay.
Yes, once.
Once,
Yeah.
but you.
But now he's like,
cuddling.
okay, but now we're cuddling. So
Wow.
Right.
So you kind of went. You like ran to second, and then it was like ha ha ha.
Right.
And ran back to first real quick.
yeah, we went all the way home, bow, and then
And it was like you were like, you know
he
what?
was like, you know what? That was way too
You
fast.
slid into home and then you went back to the bench.
Right?
Yes.
But sometimes that's nice because at least you know what it is that you're working with and that you're dealing with, and then you can go
Exactly.
back to like getting to know the person, and then you can go back to fucking.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
I'm here for it.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Well, I went to Philadelphia.
Did you meet a guy out there?
An Aussie in Philly.
Right.
No, no, no,
City
how
of
was-
brotherly love.
That's the end of the story.
How was Philly?
Yeah, it was great. We cuddled.
Did you cuddle with a
lay-
cheesesteak?
It is the
yeah.
city of brotherly love.
Yes.
I lay in the fetal position. I lay in the fetal position at the top of the rocky steps,
Yeah.
and yeah, I cried.
Yeah. You had a show out there, right?
I cried.
Yeah, I did a show out there. So I didn't mean to steal. I just.
No.
you're good.
So, like, how was your gig?
It was actually the story is a lot less interesting than Rodney's boo. That was. I kind of wish we didn't go into it, but it was great. I'd never been to Philadelphia. Have
Yeah.
you guys been?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
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 Really?
No.
Really? Oh,
He's
you're from
not-
Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from Miami, so
Oh yeah, you guys are like just like a toss throw.
Yeah.
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 So you guys are just like, why the fuck not?
It's like
Yeah.
2
Right, 'cause
hours.
it's like 2 hours
It's
away.
literally an hour and a half.
See, that's like
Not
me,
even.
like in
Yeah.
Orlando. I go to Universal. I'm like, it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was worth it, guys. We went on some roller coasters. I saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
go for a cheesesteak. I mean, that's really the only
Oh.
comedy and cheesesteaks are really the only reason.
But
to
you
go
know,
there.
they say that because that's what I did as soon as I got there. I went to the terminal reading markets, which is like the main markets there, and I got the classic Philly cheesesteak.
Right.
And it was the most meat I've ever seen. It was like a fist size of meat
Yeah.
between two like sticks of bread, and then I spent 8 hours digesting that thing. Like it was like,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat.
That
Back to
sounds
Rodney's
so much
story.
meat.
Right? extra
So
meat.
how was your Philly?
Right?
So, Dara, how have you been?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh God,
Okay.
so good. You know, I'm just riding the waves, baby. I'm just riding the
Ooh,
waves.
you better ride those waves.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I
So
wish
you've
I
been
was
dating a guy named Wave.
I ride. I wish. I was about to say. I wish I was riding the waves that Rodney was
Right.
riding. But yeah, no, no. Yeah, it's really good stuff. Really bad stuff. My 2 fish died. 2 of my fish died.
What kind of fish?
A goldfish. My roommate has been keeping them alive for a year and a half.
That's a miracle in
That's
its
a
fucking
miracle,
self.
right?
Yeah, I was about to say, is that really?
They're so big. They're so big, and it was Blue Ivy Carter and Salvador Dali that died. And I'm very sad about that. And then, like, not to bring the room down, but like today is the 8th anniversary of my mom's death. So like,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm like, ugh. So I woke up all like, ugh. But then I just played with my friend's baby, and I've known her since the 2nd grade. Not the baby. I've known the baby today.
Well, technically, you have known the baby since 2nd grade because we're born with our eggs.
Yes.
Facts.
I knew her ovary I knew the egg in the ovary
Exactly.
Really?
in the 2nd grade.
Yeah,
They don't like
We don't get
develop
new
over
eggs.
time. You don't get.
Be-
So when you
born-
come out, you got
we
eggs
have our
already.
eggs.
Yeah, we have our
have
eggs.
all of our potential children with us the minute we're born.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I could have had a baby at 10. It's a thing.
It was a personal choice.
What?
Now that we're learning, it's more of a personal
Wait, no.
choice.
You could have. You had your period at 10.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, wait. Holy
You've been
shit.
bleeding for a long time.
Long time. I'm an OG in the bleeding game. I'm an OG at this bitch. What? Tampons ain't got nothing on me.
That's great.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Whereas, how old were you when you got your period?
I
when
was
a flow came to town.
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Rodney, how about you?
Just
Any
last
day
week.
now.
He's still hoping.
Right.
He's still waiting. Every time he wakes up. It's like that one episode of South Park when all the like boys don't realize that when they're not getting their periods and they go to their dads. They're like, "I'm not bleeding out my ass." They're like, "You're not supposed to." The fuck you mean? And Carmen's like eating all the Chipotle and he's constantly bleeding out his ass. He's like, "I haven't got my period." It's like, no, you just been eating a lot of Chipotle, Carmen.
Oh my god, I love that show.
So, Dylan, how have you been?
I've been good, you know, just been doing shows at Broadway. That is fun. Recently found out that doves are just pigeons. And I don't know how to feel about that.
Wait, so I saw when you wrote this, and
Yes.
that's a thought that I've had for a very long
No,
time.
so-
but is that an accurate, like, scientific fact?
No,
Or are they just cousins?
That's what I thought. I thought maybe it was like, like a family thing. Like, okay, he went a different walk of life. No, a dove is just a white pigeon. It's just an albino, just a white pigeon. Like, there's literally no difference. So when you're at like a wedding and you let out doves, you're just letting out
Like
fucking
pigeons.
pigeons.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
now that you
shit.
move, I know you guys live in New York. I moved here 6 months ago. Like, that's fucking stupid. Those things are disgusting.
Yeah.
They are like flying
Yeah.
rats.
Yeah, they definitely are flying rats.
And
Yeah.
how much do you think white people pay for doves at their wedding?
A lot.
A
a
lot.
lot.
And they could just be
They
letting
can
go
just be getting
pigeons.
That's it.
But we have white pigeons, and they have like little spots. Are those like pigeons that have like vitiligo? Like we
Yeah,
have,
exactly. There's a Michael Jackson ass pigeons.
they're like that.
What is
You
that? He has
guys,
like,
like,
what's the,
Is that what
What's
that
the
is?
what's the skin
distinction?
problem? Oh, he has like eczema.
Wait,
might be
no.
both. I don't know because I've seen those
He's
little
got
like.
that psoriasis.
Yeah.
Pigeon
Right.
psoriasis.
Where they're all, I know what you're
Rosacea.
talking. Where they're all black and they have like the little white spots on them.
Or
Yeah.
all white,
Oh,
they have the little
well,
brown.
yeah.
Like with just a little patch of brown, maybe on the little wingtip. Because I always look at them and I'm like, that would make an amazing hat. Like pigeons would make amazing hats. That sounds very Corella Deville, but I stand by that.
I mean, but
No, a nice little fascinator.
Like,
Yeah.
are you? Is it alive?
Those feathers are beautiful. No,
Oh,
you
the feathers.
can kill it happily. I mean,
Happily.
give it a
Happily
li-
kill it.
How do you?
Alka-Seltzer. I don't know how you do it, but as long as-
Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, you give a pigeon Alka-Seltzer,
It
the
blows
motherfuckers
up.
explode.
I didn't know that.
That's kind of cool.
It's a rumor. I've never done it.
It's-
I don't believe in really
Well, see,
animal
back
cruelty,
in-
but I do believe in great hats.
See, back in Florida, this is the fun thing to do is you just go to like you go to the beach where all the seagulls are, and you just give them all laxatives, and you just kind of like go back to the end of the beach and you just watch all the birds flying all over,
that's
and then
so
it's just
mean.
rain,
That's so
just
mean.
rains
On all the other people
on
that
all
you
the
left.
other people.
Oh, that's
I'll be honest,
really
I can't take credit. I saw a
rude.
YouTube video about that, and that was horrible. That is no, it
that's
was like a
horrible.
white Christmas all over again.
I'm sure.
Oh.
I thought you just admitted you just murdered a bunch of birds.
Right.
So I used to do this thing. I just killed all these birds.
Right.
That would be very Florida.
That's
Be like,
how we spend our Christmas.
He's like Seagull Jeffrey Dahmer.
yeah.
Tara's just waiting there
They
for
almost
them
died.
to fall
Yeah.
on her.
Like, oh, we get the feathers. Get the feathers.
I can make a hat.
I could do a full-fledged coat off of this.
We just put glue on your head.
yeah, I used to want to go to the beach with just like a golf club and just a really good backhand and just every. No, I'm joking.
Shit. I tried to when I lived in London. I tried to kick the pigeons because they were just like a little too gangster for me. Like they come
More
very
gangster than
close.
New York?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. They don't care, and they would come too close, and I would always like try to kick them, but then they would be way too fast getting away. I know that sounds really mean that I was trying to kick the birds.
I mean, I ran over a possum once.
Amen.
A possum.
That's
You
good.
might have done
Yeah.
God's work.
Right? I remember I was in the car with my little sister, and I was like, "You see that possum? I'm not stopping." And it was just like boop boop. Sorry.
In Edinburgh.
Right? It's roll right
I
over
watched
that
a cat
motherfucker.
get run over on the highway.
That's bad.
That was so
Oh,
sad. It
God.
was fur everywhere. It was very sad. It was very sad. It was like, what is this thing? And then the weird thing is, it came from like the middle median, and it jumped in front of my dad's like car, but he wasn't the one that hit it. It was someone else that hit it, and it was just like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's a cat. Oh, what's the cat doing on the
There was
fur
this-
everywhere.
There was this one cat when I went back in Florida. Every time I used to come from my old college back home, and he was on the far right lane, and I never saw him get hit, but he was already there and already been there, and I swear the city didn't pick him up for like 8 months.
Oh shit.
No.
Like dead ass, and I used to remember driving past and like would purposely go on the right lane, not to hit it, but to like make it so he doesn't get hit. Maybe like I saved like him one car of like another one, and I'm just like, yo, this dude's looking like Flat Stanley out here.
Oh shit.
Oh,
that's
And I'm just like, yo, I don't like it. So on a positive note, I've got to. No, I'm joking. We gotta
So
bring
what
this.
what happened in Edinburgh?
I was just going to ask if has anyone else seen anyone get murdered? Should we explore that?
No.
In Edinburgh, they've got the biggest seagulls. Scotland has some of the biggest seagulls in the world. They're like probably about 4 times the size of regular seagulls. But all the pigeons are the same size, and the seagulls kill and eat the pigeons.
Oh.
There's bird on bird crime. Wait.
So no, maybe like the doves are like, maybe they are like white privilege. They're like, no,
Yeah.
we're too
We
good
were
for that
here
shit.
first. And then they're just knocking them
You go to
all out.
Brooklyn, there's just a bunch of like doves everywhere. You're just like, justification.
That's funny.
That's
funny, you're
crazy
funny.
that
You
they
make the
eat.
funnies,
So
I
they
make
eat
funnies.
each other.
You make the
Yeah,
funnies.
you
make
yeah.
funnies.
You do the
I
funnies.
do make funnies.
That's
You
like
make funnies.
bird
I do make
cannibalism.
And there's catfish
fucking
in
over here.
Southeast Asia that have like evolved to figure out how to catch pigeons. So they big catfish. They use their like long whiskers and they put them above the water, and the pigeons go to bite them, and then the catfish, if they have no teeth, they just jump out and suck in these pigeons whole.
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Sounds like my
Oh
ex-girlfriend.
my god, that is
So
fascinating.
badass. You
I
can find
love
videos.
I love a man who can teach me an animal fact. What?
I like that because I don't know if you're sarcastic, but I
No,
like it.
I love that shit.
She's like, my husband was Steve Irwin until the
Yeah.
Right. Wait till he tells you how he was
What?
attacked by
I've got-
sharks.
you want another? I'll give you another animal fact. You want another one?
I do.
Oh, you
I
want
got
another
a
one?
sexual one for you.
Oh,
My favorite.
Let's get
Damn.
sexual.
Dirty
no.
animal facts, you
Here you
guys.
go, I got animal facts. Here you go. 101. Did you know in Canada, it is still illegal to whisper in a man's ear if he's hunting a moose?
What?
I'm
Why?
hot.
Why?
I have no idea, but that is an actual.
Because you throw off his aim.
Yeah, no one's ever been able to explain that, but it's an actual fact.
How
Just
you gonna
hunting
get-
a moose? It could be any other animal and it's fine to whisper?
Yeah, like if he's like making love to a moose, you can
Yeah.
go for it. But
You can kill almost anything in Florida if another animal that's like a little bit higher on the food chain is going after. Like an alligator, like a panther. You can shoot almost anything, but panthers are around.
what
You
about
can
a
be like,
person?
yeah.
Definitely people.
How you
Right.
Well,
gonna-
the alligator was eating the person, so I had to put the person out of their misery. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you
was
can
always-
shoot it if it's being attacked.
Yes. So
Wow.
like even if if there's like an endangered animal, like a Florida panther is very like high up there. So that's like there's something going on. Like they don't want you to shoot that animal. Like
right.
they don't give a fuck. It's like that one's a little bit higher on the food chain. You should shoot what you gotta shoot. Like it's not alligator hunting season or whatever the hell, but no, shoot that snake. Shoot it in the face.
Is that a thing too? Alligator hunting
just
season?
took
Like
the words out of my
what?
mouth.
You
people just be floating around, trying to hunt alligators.
May 1st.
Let's go get them gators.
Let's go get them gators.
Actually, I don't think you need a permit at all. I think alligators you can shoot all year long. And that was the funny thing. I remember one time being at a gas station, and they were like, you guys deal with tourists every day in New York and Florida. It's like very kind of like thin unless you're in like Orlando. And when I was at a gas station, there was like there was an alligator, and this Midwestern family were they loved it, and their kids are getting within like 7 feet, and I'm just like, you're fucking stupid. like you come to like New York, maybe you get like honked at, maybe you like miss the subway. Like a tourist fuck up in Florida is like you're gonna eat your kid's gonna get. I remember they used to teach us
because they move fast as fuck once they get ready to.
They'll
sit there
and they jump.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh shit, there go that gator.
They used to tell us all the time, like you run if an alligator's chasing you, you run zigzag, and you wonder why all the NFL's best running backs come from Florida. They're just constantly
dodging alligator.
Look, I'm telling you, all the best. That's why like Florida State, UF, all them they're just like all them like mud boys.
Wait a minute, they'll chase you?
Oh yeah.
Yes, alligators will chase you. What you mean?
No, seriously.
I'd be so upset.
What you mean? What you think they're gonna be like? Oh, he started running. No, I'm
tired.
I'm tired.
Like, no.
They wait in the water for hours. And
Y'all
then when
like,
they see
It's
something,
like, you want to turn me into shoes, but I want to turn you into poo.
you damn right. It's an alligator eat alligator.
Right, because
alligator
I'm
eat
from
human
Wisconsin,
world.
so like we have like a bunch of deer, but like
I
deer
thought you were
will
gonna
run.
say cheese.
And there's a lot of cheese, but there's a lot of deer. But like the deer will run the opposite direction. They're
Wait,
scared as fuck.
I
Yeah,
just
deer are
learned
different.
that female deers are more likely to get hit. See, I told you these facts turn me on.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
this one's ugly. I don't like this one. Female deers are more likely to get hit because they're running away from rape from the steers. So that's why the female.
Yo.
That
I
buck
just
trying to
learned
get me.
this.
Isn't that like humans too, though?
I mean, basically,
That was the most 2018 animal fact I've ever. Like,
Right.
that was coming
oh my
straight
God,
out of
the
Brooklyn
deers are
Tech.
me too.
Hashtag deer too.
Hashtag deer too.
Yeah, oh dear,
I
me
could
too.
just,
That's fucked up.
I
She
could
tried not
just
to get raped, just get hit by a semi truck.
Right? She's like, damn, the steer again.
no, I don't want no dick. No, I don't want no dick. Oh shit!
It's like, I told you yesterday.
Bambi, run,
Rudolph,
Bambi, run.
your nose is red and shit. What you got?
I'm riding
You gave me chlamydia last time. I ain't doing this again.
I'm
Yes.
clapping back.
I'm clapping
Oh
back.
my god.
I'm out of here.
There's been a rise in deer hittings and also a rise in deer rapings. Is there a correlation? We'll tell you next week on 2018 Millennial We Love It News.
And the animals.
Oh no! Wait? Have you guys seen the PETA thing?
No.
No, no.
Is
This
this-
is a quality topic. PETA came out on Instagram and they put out a list. So like a common phrase is kill two birds with one stone.
Right.
They said that we need to stop using these type of phrases. So they want us to say feed two birds with one scone.
Birds don't eat scones.
That's what I. First of all, you're gonna kill a bird giving them scones.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's not a part of their
Right.
diet.
Someone needs I need to look it up.
Yeah.
Hey, Miles.
Yo,
Google-
shout out to Miles
Google
and his
PETA.
shoes. His shoes are amazing.
I haven't seen my shoes.
They are amazing.
He has docs on too.
Don't let the night end without you seeing his shoes.
You just took Miles' shoe completely off.
They are amazing.
Yeah, Miles' shoes are
Right,
cute.
right.
That'll be the sixth member.
No, pass it around
Right.
like it's school. Everyone take a look.
I'm not really into
Everyone
feet,
take a look.
but yeah.
Right. He's just passing around shoes.
And we're
Well, you're
touching.
not.
I-
It's okay.
I've seen it. I'm good. Thank you. Miles may put his shoe back on.
I never
Miles.
said that. I just said he could have it back.
Thank you,
Thumbs up?
Miles.
Okay, thank you, Miles.
So, Sam,
Yo.
do you feel like being on? I know. I'm trying to transition to a show, you guys.
Sorry.
And not just stupid animal facts.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that being vulnerable will allow you to move forward? Yeah.
What an opener.
Like maybe on.
We got a bunch of questions to go through in the show. Just started with the
Well,
How
because
open are you to butt sex?
Right.
no.
Oh,
that's a good one.
very
That's a good one.
extremely.
Open right
Right, we can do it
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
I'm like literally.
I'm always
No, let's
I
do
was
it.
like,
Let's
You
do it.
never ask. I've been training for this butt stuff all day.
I'm trying to get this out of the booty.
are
Right.
you?
Sorry. You know what happens to this panel when we start talking about butts.
I know. We got to get this show out
Hey,
the
hey
butts.
Marissa, so far, that's why, not that I'm criticizing you for opening with the vulnerability question, but and we've within 3 seconds gone to Rodney's butt stuff. So
Rodney is not
That's the most
vulnerable
open
with
thing in the
butt stuff.
room. Rodney's butt.
It's so true.
I think we should tackle this with maturity.
You know when you get to McDonald's and you're drunk, you're like, is it open? Oh, it's 24 hours.
That's like Rodney's butt.
Oh yeah.
Marissa, do you want to try? We can try that.
Okay.
We could try that and just watch it just descend into chaos.
Like disintegrate? Yeah.
It's-
No.
Vulnerability. Let's do
I
it.
think it's like
Vulnerability.
I think it's like a
Someone
really.
vulnerable.
I've been trying to think about like because I've been in New York for like 2 months now, and like for me, it's like an amazing place of reflection because it's such a hard city to be in, and you're really always questioning yourself, and if you're not, then you're insane or avoiding it. And I don't know. Some of you guys, you guys are in your 30s. I know you.
I'm 21.
21. Oh man.
Yeah,
Wow.
we
Enjoy
are 21.
This.
Oh my God,
Right,
millennial.
right.
Clink it
We're the
Forever
old age.
21.
Oh.
I've been 32 and forever 21. That's.
I've been 32 forever.
But the thing that I've been like really kind of struggling with, I think for a long time, is like facing vulnerability because like I feel like I'm a very empathetic person. I think a lot of comedians are very empathetic, and that allows them to connect and resonate with other people. But it's always on their terms. I think that's something that's like paramount in comedies. You learn how to connect with other people, but you get to control the situation. And I don't know if it's comedians in general, if comedy also teaches you this, is that you build up these defensive mechanisms to choose when you're vulnerable and protect yourself from the harsh environments, which is this city and the people in it. And then I think as you get older, it's harder and harder to be vulnerable, even when you want to be. And I've found that recently something I've been exploring is trying to like become more open and vulnerable even when I don't want to be, and actually feeling pain when it comes up rather than trying to avoid it, and then being like, okay, if I get hurt by something, not to retaliate but just to like sit with the pain. And it's actually been like amazing. Like I've never had such a horrible time going through it, but then it's like you have this peace afterwards where you don't feel like you're hanging on to anything. You don't feel like, you feel like your back of your mind there's like always shit going on that you just can never really get off, like guilt and stress and stuff. I think a lot of that comes from like just not facing like real pain and problems in your life. So I just want to bring that up as like a generic, what do you guys think?
No, I mean, I think it's an interesting point because I think that so I kind of feel like, and I'm just going to speak for myself, but I think it's kind of a truism for most comedians that like we kind of all became comics in a moment of vulnerability. Kind of like I feel like
Very
most
true.
of us have been like bullied, or we had like troubles in family or in our lives or whatever, and that we learned how to cope and how to kind of buffer situations with comedy. And so, like, I know, like, when I was little, I got bullied a lot. And so how I would react to my bullies is that I would just, like, make fun of them. And if I could make more people laugh at them than they were making laugh at me, then I won. And so I think that's kind of how I started with comedy. It was just kind of a way to push back on bullies. And then, like, also, like, comedy is, like, a good, like, it diffuses a lot of situations. And so, like, my parents, like, they necessarily weren't in the best or happiest, healthiest marriage. And so, like, they would be arguing, and I would say something or do something that would make them laugh, and it would stop the argument. And so, like, I kind of learned that way to, like, oh, so, like, if I make these guys laugh, they'll stop yelling. Like, so I think that most comedians are born in a place of vulnerability. But I think that what gets scary is that we use comedy as this defense mechanism to keep these really emotional moments at a distance. And then all of a sudden, when you start turning into them and you're like, oh, you know something? I was hurt by that comment, or I am sad by this. then like you have to start dealing with feelings that you've actually been training yourself to
not feel.
Move. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really.
Absolutely.
I don't want to cut you off,
you're
Dylan,
fine.
but when I'm listening to you talk about like even parents and like saying something funny to diffuse the situation, or bullies and getting the louder laugh than they did,
Right.
I can see how I use that as a way to control the situation, but that wasn't necessarily me being vulnerable, because I was just trying to do what I could do. You said it best, like coping mechanism, right?
Yeah.
But then I find myself on stage now, like maybe something happened during my day and it's like the ugly part of my day that I don't want to talk about, but then I end up getting on stage and I end up talking about that and saying it in front of a bunch of people.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, that's
how it-
vulnerability.
That's what I was
Uh-huh.
feeling.
Like,
No,
there's
yeah.
no attachment to what this is going to be. Like, there's no attachment to, like, I need someone to validate this, or I need this to go a certain way. Like, I just need to say this right now because I can't be with you guys unless I say this, because this is what is happening right now.
And I feel
and
like
I gotta say it right now,
because,
and I
like,
gotta be here with you.
often in comedy, like, you know, like I personally find like the best jokes are when you start off the joke as a zero and end the joke as a hero. Like, and it's just that
Yeah.
journey of you feeling like a nothing and then just being like, I won this. Like, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel
So-
like, you know, like the whole, not I don't say broken home, but like my parents were divorced and like a lot of fighting as well. So it's like one thing that was always same thing, like my parents, like my dad would like do something like one of my favorite stories is we had a window in a part of a house that was like under construction. And so that part of the house was under construction. He was adding a new bedroom for me. I was the youngest. And my parents are fighting. My dad's really cool, calm and collected. He sits in the corner. And then eventually he finally blows up. He punches the window out. The thing shatters. My mom's like shook, goes to her room. And all the kids are just sitting there wide-eyed. And my dad just breathing. He just smiles and he goes, hey, it needed to go anyways, didn't it? And like, and all of us just start bursting out laughing because in that moment he realized he's like, the only reason I punched it is, bitch, they're coming tomorrow to break it anyways. So and like that was like, and that to me was always how I dealt with shit. Was always like something happens, like funny. And like
Right.
one thing I think you really touched on was like recently, like you pointed out like the girl on my phone, like my girlfriend, like she really makes me like face shit. And like not saying that's a good or bad thing, but because it obviously is good, but it's like I've never had that moment to be like, she's like, obviously you were hurt. I'm like, I don't even care. It's funny. Like, now it's funny to me. She's like, I understand that, but like you're just like, it is funny. You're absolutely like, okay, but you need to deal with it. Like it made you feel away. Like clearly it's still in your mind. Like how you say, like going on stage and like talking about something. Like the most times where my jokes, like I have a whole bit about, you know, New York versus Florida, and I think it does well because I generally don't miss Florida. Like I generally like there's a good feeling like when I'm telling the joke, there's genuine feelings behind like I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be in New York. Like, I'm happy every time I'm here. So it's
Right.
like facing the reality behind the comedy. I think is one of the hardest things as a comedian because you obviously always hear like comedians are depressed. And I said to my friend the other day is because comedians make everyone else laugh, but no one really makes a comedian
I
laugh.
was exactly because that's exactly what I was going to talk about is the
part.
fact that like
Yeah.
once people find out that you're a comedian, they expect you to be a certain way
You're
all
that
the
guy
time.
go
forever.
on.
You're
Make
that
me
guy
laugh. Tell me
all
a
the
joke.
time. And like last week, like 2-3 weeks ago, I cried at work. Like I like broke down, something
And they
happened.
don't understand it.
And people were fucking shook. Like everybody was just like, Rodney's crying? Like what the fuck? He's not laughing? Like, yes, I'm a complete person. I have all the
Yes.
emotions
Yeah.
and sometimes I cry. Like but it was like legit, like everybody was just like, what the fuck?
Are you ever just not in the mood to be that guy though? Like that's something that I fall into because I have a very loud personality, and I love that about me. It's always me. It's how I always been. It's how I made friends. Like I moved a lot. I made friends that way. But if I'm ever quiet or something's on my mind, something's
Yeah.
weighing on me,
Everybody's
Dylan,
like, what's wrong?
What's
What's
wrong?
wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Wait, why are you not
Yep.
why are you not happy? What's wrong?
I try
Exactly.
not to go out actually when I
Feel that
way.
You feel that coming.
Because I know that I'm going to bring the room down.
Right.
And it's not something I
When
need
usually
to
I bring the
do.
room up, they
Exactly.
usually see me. Oh my God, Rodney, and just like,
Yeah.
what's up?
Then
And they're
that
like,
then,
yeah.
that, then that's fine.
where's
Like,
the
where is that? And,
Well,
and then
where's
people
the guy
expect
that-
it,
yeah.
and then like the opposite side of when I'm not feeling like is like nothing that people are ready for.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? They're gonna be like, oh, yo, she Jekyll and Hyde us. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like, no, I just wasn't ready to face you guys.
Exactly.
I wasn't ready to be out there. Like, I love being with people, but I feel like I'm a little bit of an ambivert where I'm an extrovert, but I'm also an introvert, and I can be with people, and I love being with people. But at the same time, I need to, like, go home and regroup. And
I read something recently. It was like, there's
myself.
nothing wrong with. I read something recently. It was like, I know I'm the same way. I'm both, but it's also there's nothing wrong with like needing a break from like social interaction.
Yeah.
Like I think me time is one of the greatest things. Like when I flew back from Florida, I immediately got back into work. Like the first day I was here, I was filming, I was doing this, and like the third day, I was just so wrapped up, and like I had to take a 12 hours from morning to night just to like, listen, I'm pushing everything out. Like you hit me up, my phone's not on right now. Like even just to, like, and some people, I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to say take it for granted, but they look at it like, oh, I didn't do anything today. Sometimes you don't need to do anything. Like sometimes like that's the best
those
way.
are the best fucking days.
Because what you do, because when you finally get to do something, you do it better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you if you don't go on stage for a little bit, like I don't know about you, but like if I like haven't gone at it, like the second I can get back to it, I'm like I want to hit that. I want to hit that shit. Yeah. It's like you're like I took it for granted last time. Maybe I didn't like love it as much. I'm gonna love it a little bit more right now.
Yeah. I feel like I live like the duality of that though. Like so like I think that I definitely am able to be that like comic that's like throwing those like one-liners in a conversation, but I'm also capable of like sitting in the back or in the room and not talking to anybody. And I think that I try to live that truth of myself that like I know that I am those two people. I am both the person that like can like go into the room and like talk to everybody and be like, hey, what's up, blah blah blah, and like be completely extroverted and with everybody. But I need to also honor that part of myself that is just kind of like, there's way too many fucking people in this room.
Yeah.
What is everybody talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I you know, like I've been through years of therapy, and but like I feel like I had this one therapist that really explained it to me well, and so like he was just basically he talks about like basically like the family within, and it's like it's not necessarily, a lot of people will get it confused with like having like multiple personality disorder or whatever, but like basically the whole theory is that each individual person has like different people within themselves. So like, you know, like you're a brother, you're a boyfriend, you're a worker, you're a comic, you're a singer, you're all these different people. And when you want your life to be the most balanced and harmonious, like you have to give all those different people all the things that they want.
Yeah.
So like you kind of like, you know, one of them might be like, I need to have my me day on Sundays where I'm doing facials and I'm doing my nails and I'm watching TV, and that's a need of that person. And then another one is just like, I need to have all my work done before the deadline, at least a day, otherwise I'm going to go nuts. And like if you kind of like work on giving all of your people within the things that their core needs, that like you feel like your life is more balanced.
Yeah.
And so like that's something that I really kind of digested and I took home, and I try to like give all of my people their core needs. And sometimes it's like, you know, I got to be there and like, you know, we're going out, we're doing shots or whatever. And then sometimes it's just like I'm sitting in the corner and I really just can't talk to anybody. Like, you know.
Hey, Marissa, can I ask, who are the people? Do you know your people?
Do they have names?
I love that question. I love it.
So like, yeah, I mean, let's say like for like just simplicity, like so there's the comic and then there's the producer and then there's the day
which they're
job
completely
person.
two different.
My comic
your comic
and my
producer are so different. Yeah,
like they're different people.
Completely.
Like
she's producing. People are scared.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know why people are scared.
Yeah, but it's like,
I've never been scared, but I met you as a comic. I met when I walked in the comic strip, you were on stage, and then I saw one person, and then when I met you
as a producer, I'm another.
And then when I see you at the podcast,
different.
My podcaster and my stand-up is a different person. Like when I'm at work, I'm at like, you know, my day job. When I'm like, you know, an analyst, that's a different person. Because like I don't feel like I can be funny on my day job, because if I'm telling you, hey, we're losing $2 million, I need you to believe me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't want
not a
you
joke,
to like,
motherfucker.
yeah, like I don't want you to be like, oh, you're just kidding. Remember that time you told us that shit joke? Like,
Yeah.
like no, it's just like, no, like you need to do something. We're losing money. Like, I need you to believe that.
See, and for my day job, because I work at a restaurant, it's like I still always have that. Like, I'm always on. They're always expecting that. My tables, everybody around me, they're just like, oh, that's Rodney. He's a comedian. Make me laugh. Ha! Like, you know, it's always on.
Right.
I feel like.
What is everyone's go-to when someone asks you, oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke?
I'm off the clock.
I was like, pay me.
I like
Pay
to,
me.
I
like
like to
that
say, do what you do, but that only works
When you're
if you're not actually like at T-Mobile asking someone to help you with their phone.
yeah.
Right.
Because they are doing
So
what
this
they
has
do
the 4G
Right,
network.
right now.
No, right.
Like,
well,
you're literally fixing my phone right now, so maybe what do you do for a living? Do that right
do
now.
that
I
right
like,
now.
I like
Right.
how he just goes,
She'll
he
shoot a
just
second
goes back to
job.
like on your phone. He's just like, okay, so the plan is right here.
So we're
Like-
doing it.
But
Like,
no,
I
the
will
pay
go
me.
back.
That's my go-to answer. Like, pay me.
I
Yeah.
honestly,
Right,
I'm off the
you wanna
clock.
hear
I
a
love
joke?
Come to a show.
Off the
I like
clock,
off
right.
the clock.
I
but
like that.
Come
I'm
to
off
the
the
show,
clock.
and what do you do? Do that for me right now, because I'm not doing.
What you want me to second job?
Yeah, what the fuck am I, a
fuck?
puppet?
Dance,
Tell
monkey
me a
boy,
joke.
dance.
Right.
Like the cowboy shooting at your feet. Dance, monkey boy.
Yeah, right. Oh God, and that's everybody says that. As soon as you say, I'm a
Yeah.
comedian, oh, tell me a joke.
What's
That's
yours?
honestly,
What's
it's
your
not that-
'Cause if-
go-to?
Yeah.
I say something like, that's always like, do you like dad jokes? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, no need, you are your dad's joke. And then I just walk away.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
My
I
go
like that one.
my go-to is always just the shittiest joke. I go, you know, some people tell, you know, small dick jokes. Some people tell large dick jokes. I tell medium dick jokes because mine can speak to ghost. And everyone's always like, there's always like a 10% of people that are like, don't know what a medium is. And I'm just like, that's why you shouldn't have asked. I was like, I didn't want to tell a joke. So I tell you the shittiest joke. Come to the show. Like, I'm not like, what do you want me to do? Like, tell you a great joke right now, and then you're like, you're funny. I'm not gonna come see you anyways.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, no one asks anyone else to do what they do. Like,
Right.
if you met a doctor or a brain surgeon,
What if you
Take
meet-
out my
or
spleen.
a gynecologist at a dinner party, you're not going to be like, look, I have
Where's
this
your
bump on my
speculum?
right labia. I'd really love for you to check this out.
Oh,
Can you do your job right now? No, you don't do that with gynecologists.
think about
Do
about
they do that with
someone-
singers? They don't do it with singers.
Some
They
people
no,
do.
no, no, no,
Some
no.
people
Some people
do.
do.
I
But
know.
like,
people do,
Oh,
yeah.
you're a singer? Sing something
Sing something.
for
For
us.
me.
It's totally
Bitch,
you.
I don't
But
have a microphone.
think about
I'm
how
not-
awkward it'd be. Like, imagine if imagine if like LeBron James was at like your kid's like somehow like from family he was at your kid's birthday party. You know how scared everybody would be to be like, hey LeBron, can you come shoot the basketball with my kid? Like you just wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, you're a basketball player?
Like oh my
Yeah.
god, it's LeBron. Like give him a basketball. Like I would feel terrible to do that. But if you're a comedian, it's like because you're like LeBron entertains, but it's like he's also just doing a job. Like I'm just trying to do what's good for me. A comedian is people think it's like you work for me.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So when you tell people I'm a comedian, they go, "Oh, this is what you do."
It's like,
Tell
make me
something.
laugh.
Go,
It's like-
exactly, make me laugh.
It's exactly. It's like people don't respect our job at all, and then super fucking respect it because they
Right.
don't
It's one or the
respect
other.
it. Right. Or it's like this
We're
odd
like a
mix of
step
both.
above carnies.
I mean, yes, but the thing is, one step above carnies, two steps above clowns. But here's the
Four
thing.
steps below singers.
Yeah.
Right?
5 steps below actors.
One step
Yeah.
below musical comedians.
That is or above. I'm not
no,
sure.
no, no, I was about to say, I think we're
I
above that
think we're
one.
You
above
think you're
musical
above, but
comedians.
they don't. The rest of the people
Yeah,
are like, nah,
yeah.
music comedy's the best.
They're there forever. But no, I mean, people want to say things to us like, do your job right now. Oh, you're just a comedian. But then the other half of that conversation is, I could never do what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I get that all the time.
The other conversation is, I would never be able to get on
Does
stage
anyone else
and make
get
people
this?
laugh.
My number one is I get this so often. Maybe because I don't know if it's because I'm young, but every time I tell somebody I'm a comedian, they go, "Oh my God, you're so brave." I go,
Yeah.
"I don't have cancer."
Yeah.
Like, what am I brave for doing? Like, I
Well, because for some people, they can't imagine getting up on stage
That's that part
without.
I couldn't imagine sitting in a cubicle and doing like taxes for like 12 hours.
This is true.
That
too.
part.
Be with
That's
a
what I'm
girl
trying
that
to
can
get
do
to.
both.
Right?
I gave up my cubicle
Even though-
after
because-
14
because,
years,
like,
but you are still,
that's
and you're still
crazy.
making that
That's
cute
facts.
money too. I'm
Right.
broke.
No, as I say, like, but if you
I'm
can
making
do
the
it,
cute
'cause you gotta
money
remember,
and
too, like-
stage jokes.
Exactly.
As an
exactly.
actor, you have like other people around you.
Yeah.
As a singer, you'll have a band and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But what we do is we get up there with a microphone and you stand there by yourself,
you
just
build it.
completely
Yeah.
Exactly.
building something.
Comedy,
Alone.
I think comedy is totally brave. It's,
Yeah.
one, not just for getting up on stage. I think they mean brave. Like, you're an idiot for doing this. This is
No, absolutely. And I
I'm
sense that
32.
too.
I'm telling you, it's not good.
There's something broken inside.
I've been living off comedy for 4 years.
Now, the
It's
best
like
is
a
when-
horrible decision.
The best is when they sigh before they say it. Just
Yeah.
really. And it's like, is he sure about that? Like,
Yeah.
Do you
so
know?
that was
Do you
a
know who?
choice.
They said like, "Oh, tell me a joke," and you're like, "No, I don't want to tell you a joke." Do you know what? I was thinking about what profession would is the magicians. I've never had a magician. You go do a magic trick. They're like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
so
they get a
hard.
boner.
They
I
get
think
like
there's a little
the-
so
pre-cum in
true.
their
You have to
pants
ask them
every
to
Yeah.
stop
time.
doing
They-
magic.
they-
Right,
hard,
exactly.
they're
They're
right.
just like, oh.
They're like,
That's
oh,
just- no.
I've been
And
waiting
it's
all
so
day.
true.
It's
Carrying a
like
different
I've
color.
already done it. Do you see the
Every-
coin behind your ear?
Exactly. Every time you ask
Oh.
a magician, he's just like, "What do you mean?" all those like Instagram videos where he's just in the middle of like LA and he's just like, pick a card, and everyone's just like, "Ew." It's like you can never walk into like just the middle of an open area and be like, "I was walking in the subway one day," and like people just be like, "This guy's just talking something."
Yeah.
That's
Like-
the thing. Oh, wait.
No, I was gonna say like you can't just go outside and start doing comedy.
Well,
No,
you
people
could.
do.
You
Could.
could.
People do.
People do.
Dave Chappelle used to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a bunch of Mike Logan and Reggie and Rashad Bashir, they all got on the subway and did like Showtime comedy. you know?
Showtime.
Yeah. They were like, we're gonna tell jokes now. So I mean, you can, but to your point, I think it's harder because comedy is so subjective.
Have you ever done that?
And if
Because
you're-
I feel like
No, no, no,
people are
I've
like
never
not
done
here
that.
for like a fucking comedy
Yeah.
show.
But with magic, like if you make the bird appear, you make the bird
Bird
appear.
appear.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
People are like,
If
"Whoa."
you tell a joke
And
and that
nobody
person
laughs.
doesn't know
Yo,
about the
absolutely
10%
true.
of what you're trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
You,
say it.
you hit
Right.
that 10% of the
Even if
person
they
who's
know
like
it,
doesn't
they don't.
know.
They don't.
They don't get
I
it.
start talking
Yeah.
about dick jokes.
Yeah. There's so many things in comedy that will allow someone not to laugh or that will make someone to laugh, and there's so many variables that we have to like juggle.
And people
But-
don't understand that if they're not in
No.
comedy. Like this week, I had a company holiday party, and so like everybody is like bummed at this point, and they're just like, "Marissa, get up and tell us some jokes," and I'm just like, and it's like there's like 50 people, and like part of me is just like, I got 50 people, and then another
Right.
part
Oh,
of
we
me
got
is
a
like,
room.
Yeah.
you
Look,
know,
oh
it's that-
shit.
like that.
They want me on stage.
It's like that little comic party was just like, oh shit, like this is the
I'll tell
best
some
crowd I
jokes,
had.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like another part of me is just like, yeah, but I like my 401k. Like, you know, it's just
Word.
like I don't want, because I know I'm gonna say something, and like, you know, like and then like one of my coworkers is just like, oh, she just doesn't want to do it because she's like, all the jokes are about like you talking to my CEO, and like it's just like, and I'm like, oh yeah, you only like your reports in shades of gray, like, you know,
Yeah,
what I
like-
mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like I didn't feel like.
No, the best part is because I'm young and I have like a really good like I don't say like relationship with kids because I'm not like that, but I'm from Florida, bro. You
Are
gotta
you
be
trying
careful.
to Michael
Michael
Jackson this shit?
Right.
Sounds
But like
like
every time I go back home and like I'll meet like go back to like maybe like a kid that I babysit and it's always the parents like, "Oh, we want to come to a show." And that's like when you're talking about like different like people inside of you, like one thing that I always made sure like when I was writing my jokes was there's like a dark part of me. Like I love being the funny guy, but there's jokes in my set where I'm like, I'm going to take you there because don't forget we're out here to tell jokes.
Right.
And that's where like this is how you're saying when people go get on stage, I'm like, you don't know my set. You don't know what I do. Like if,
Right.
if Adam
Y'all
Sand-
not ready for
Yeah,
this.
like in a sense, like if Adam Sandler's there, it's like, yo, we're about to see Adam Sandler. Even if he doesn't do well, like it's like you kind of still like, okay, he sang a couple songs, he did a couple this. Like I knew that. You've never seen that person perform once, and
Right.
you're just like, hey, do what you do. Listen, they always say like you play to the back of the room because 15% of the crowd is always what cares the most. Like
Right.
every joke, you're only going to hit 15-20%. Because there's always those people that maybe it hits them, but it's like they never had a divorced parent. They never so it's like, oh, that divorce joke didn't really get to me. It was funny, but like,
Yeah.
if you're talking about weed smoking, maybe you're hitting like 40% of the people in the crowd, but still 60% don't smoke weed. That old white couple sitting first row, they don't resonate with all your weed material.
Yeah. What about when you're dating? Like I
What
like.
do you mean?
Okay, so like right before the show on Friday, I was hooking up with this guy, and then
A different one from your coworker?
we're not official yet.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
I just
right.
want it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put all his business out there. Go on.
Thanks. But then
His name is Jonathan.
Right.
He lives on 555.
But I was excited
You're
because I
trying
had
to get him slaves.
right.
His
Right.
boo is Puerto
Right,
Rican.
listening, right. Puerto Rican and Dominican shit.
I was so surprised
And
when he
he's
said
from
it was in
Uptown,
love.
right.
I knew he was gonna be like, "Yup, same one," and then
Right.
no,
Oh
okay.
no.
Sorry.
Right. Hey,
Sorry.
it's New York City. There's Grinder.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Got it.
But okay. So like after we hooked up, I had like just written a set like a couple hours before. I had rehearsed it, and I was like, okay, I'm about to go. I'm ready. And I was like, okay, I got a show tonight. He was like, well, let me see what you're gonna do. He's like naked, and I was just like, all right, well, let me put some pants on, and I did my whole set for him, just right there.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Seriously.
That's so.
How'd it go?
He liked it. He was laughing. He laughed, but it was like playing to the audience of one person.
It's always.
Yeah.
Which
See,
is
nah.
that's the part.
You were
that's-
being Sarah
that.
Huckabee Sanders.
See, fuck that. I had this Ukrainian dude that I was fucking trying to do that shit, and I was like, "Do you want to see my set?" And I was ready to show him a video, right? I was like, "Well, I'm gonna show you this video of this fucking set because I'm not doing this shit. It's 4:00 in the morning. I am so high. I am so drunk. Like I'm not. And the only thing I want to do is fuck you right now. And now
Right.
you want me to stand in my bedroom and tell you
jokes.
jokes?
Tell you
Like,
jokes.
it's not gonna happen, bruh.
Why you
It's
sitting there
me.
naked looking at me?
Yo,
Telling
why
jokes.
you stroking your dick like Louis C.K.? No, no, that's not.
But did he
going
have your
down.
consent?
Yeah, he had all the consent. I was
Right.
gonna fuck the shit out of that man, but I would rather fuck him than tell him these jokes in my bedroom. That's my boudoir. I do not want to have to
Right,
tell
because
jokes
I don't
in my
tell
boudoir.
jokes in my bedroom either. I tell jokes in the living room. That's my rehearsal space.
Oh yeah.
He
That's,
followed, I went to my bedroom to bring out the laptop to the living room. He followed me to the bedroom, undressing, thinking that he was going to listen to some jokes. That's not foreplay.
That's
That's
so
not
weird.
foreplay.
I like the idea of just like, that was a good joke.
Yeah.
Instead of laughing, he just gets faster.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's like, that was
I
a
really like that
punchline. You make one more of those, I just might. It's like,
Imagine if like comedy
Makes
clubs were
sense.
like that. Instead of laughing, people just jerked off.
oh
Just
my
the
god.
whole-
Oh my
You're
god.
like, oh yeah.
It was always just silence.
Standing ovation.
It was always just dead silence, and the more
God.
the more like, you hear, it's like, okay, I'm hitting them.
They
they're-
would pay you a
Getting
bukkake.
that.
They put a hat
Oh my
around.
God.
Everyone just
Yo,
comes in a hat.
Dylan, how was the show? It was great.
It was
Yeah.
really, and
You
you
have
would
a
know
tissue?
that by the amount of tissues on the ground. The amount of tissues
Yeah.
Wait.
would be your
Like
compensation and
tissues are like,
validation.
tissue
oh my god,
everywhere.
tissues are now drink tickets.
Yeah.
Like,
Right? You like, I
well,
just
how
killed
many
this room.
tissues
I
did you
killed
get?
it.
I killed it. There's babies everywhere.
Yeah.
I one time was fucking a comic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have ever done that. Have you ever been in relations with another like actual
Yeah,
comedian?
I gotta stop it. But yes.
Yeah, so it's fun at first. You think it's fun because he's like, "Oh, this is really funny." It's not, but like
It's a
we used to
stupid
have
idea.
like funny sex.
So dumb.
Like we used to tell jokes during sex. Like she like
Shut up.
Oh my God.
This is word for word
Yeah.
happened. Like I was
That
once
is-
again, not to get too graphic, but like it's in there. Like we're in the middle of it, and we're doing and whatever.
graphic,
we have
it's big talk.
we have a
Is this a
little back
joke?
and forth, and then she just goes, "That's funny. You should write that down." And like like an idiot, I pull out my phone and I'm
Shut up.
But yo,
sitting there like this,
No.
writing down a fucking joke.
No.
And no, but she likes it. She goes, "Okay, now tell it to me." I was just like, "What are we doing?" And at first, don't get me wrong, I thought
so
it was the
fucked up.
hottest
Yes.
thing. And then like looking back on it, I was like, that was the worst. Like
That's crazy.
it was.
That's
It would be so
crazy.
bad to like have someone like rubbing your dick and be like, "Is that funny?"
Wait.
Like,
What's your tag gonna be, baby? What's your tag?
Do you know that's like, wait.
But wait though. But I get my best jokes when I'm masturbating in the middle of the night. Like I'm
But
jerking
there's nothing
off.
wrong with that because
and
that's
it's
like
just
meditation.
dead ass.
Oh,
That's
hell
like meditation.
yeah.
I've had that though.
I'll get some. I'll be like,
There's
oh
nothing wrong
shit.
with that. That's meditation.
That
That's you
dick
and your
looks kinda
own
weird.
brain.
No, you know, I don't.
That's your material?
I always get. I always get the best
That should
right
be
before
all your
I'm falling
punchlines.
asleep.
The dick
It's always
looks kind of
right
weird.
before I'm falling asleep.
I think I'm gonna put it in my mouth.
No, that's always my best material.
Do you keep a notebook near your?
Like, with my phone. Like I'll literally be so, and it's always funny because I always know it's a good joke when I'm so tired I don't want to go write it down. If that makes sense. Like I know it's a good tagline because I think of it. I'm like, fuck, that's good. I'll remember in the morning. And you train yourself to go no.
Jesus said, "Get up
Yes.
now."
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Because
every
you
single
know-
time I just jump up. You have to
You
get
know
the
what
fuck
I
up.
think of? You know what I think? I think of two things. First, J.K. Rowling's came up with Harry Potter in the middle of the night, and she almost didn't write it down.
Yeah, that's
So,
fucking crazy.
can you imagine if she never wrote that down?
Oh,
I
God.
always fucking think about that.
Yeah.
Not that my jokes are gonna.
One
J.K.
day.
Rowling's me.
You never
but
know.
just you never know, you know.
Right.
And then Leon Lord once said that like ideas
Love
are like,
her.
but she's amazing. She is like a goddess of comedy. And she said, your ideas are like butterflies. And they fly around, but they want you to capture them. And by capturing them, you have to write them down. If you don't capture them and write them down, they become jealous and they fly off to someone else.
Oh.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
But
So, you gotta
but those
fucking-
ideas
you
turn
gotta-
into, look at Bernie Mac, for example. His joke about his family and taking care of like his sister's kids turned into a complete spin-off show.
Which is why you
Like,
gotta write everything down.
Can you imagine if he just didn't wake up out of bed and write that fucking joke down?
Right.
I think it would have
That's
been
why-
alright.
that's why-
He's Bernie Mac.
Right.
I think it would have
Yeah.
been like, fine. Sorry.
That's Bernie Mac.
But Bernie Mac's a bad
Rest in
example
peace. He
because
was-
he's just the best.
So
I mean,
fucking
he is
amazing.
the best. But his whole family things like him downstairs. I mean, that puts
Him
that-
downstairs.
Him downstairs.
Oh my God, that's the best joke. Oh God, I'm gay and I love it.
Him downstairs.
Him downstairs.
Yeah, I mean you know, I'm glad he wrote that joke.
Yeah. It changed the game.
No, you have to force yourself up. Like I think what got me to realize it was like I love all those little stories was the one time you like had that one like part in your set and you're like trying to tighten it up and you know for a fact you had a good line for it and you can't remember it. That's when I was like you lose the last one you lose, you're like fuck, that was the last one. Like I'm done with it. Like I'm over
Yeah.
it. Cuz
Yeah.
like how you said like you don't want to write it down. You just have to get up, go, now, go, do it.
Get it.
Every
Yeah.
time, like I remember so many times, and like I'm building this one part of my set where I'll either be really fucked up or really really tired, and I'll write down an idea, and it won't even be that good, but it'll be gibberish. So it'll just be like paintings, weed, Starbucks, and I'll be like, and then like sober me, which I'm trying to put it together. I'm like,
The way you be looking.
The
What
fuck-
the
what the
fuck
fuck
did
did
I
you
write
do?
down, Eric?
I could put that
So
together. Weed and Starbucks.
I just want to have a set
Oh,
where
okay.
at the end of my set I just want to read all those
Let me
fuck
wake
ups
that
and just be like, hey,
pussy
listen,
up
this is
and
what all
shut
could have been
down.
jokes. But I don't know what the
Right.
fuck they were. So these are just lost archive.
I used to have that problem. Like I was a creative writing minor in college, and so like I would always get like writer's block because I always had to write like short stories, and I get writer's block, and then I just like go out and just get fucking blitzed, like just like completely trashed, and I'd come home back to my dorm room and I just start writing little phrases and pieces or whatever, and then when I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have like napkins and like like paper plates and like all these little squares of paper that I just wrote words and phrases on.
It's so funny.
And then when I come back to my dorm room at the end of the night, I just empty my pockets and my purse and I just throw all the paper down in the middle of the floor. And then I just start like reading them. And then I'd start trying to like piece together a story with like all these little phrases. And then that would just be like how I like
That's really
start
dope.
my story.
That's
I like
really
that a lot,
creative.
actually.
You know,
Whoa.
but like, you know, I stopped writing because I was got kicked out of AA. But
That's a fucking achievement. That's an achievement.
I legit got kicked out of AA. I'm not even fucking around with that.
that's,
For what? Would you kick out for?
So like this is like before my stand-up days, but like I always had like anxiety like talking to like large groups of people, and so like some stuff was happening, and I was having to give a lot of like speeches and stuff. And so like I had realized that I had gone like a full semester, like not being sober for a single day for a full semester. And I don't mean like not being sober, like, oh, I had a beer, but like I mean a whole semester that like I was like
tipsy a lot.
almost blackout drunk to blackout
Damn.
drunk for an entire semester. And so I'm like, you know something? I think I might be an alcoholic. I should probably get this checked out. And so like I thought like, oh, you know something? I'll go to AA. But then the whole idea of like having to talk to strangers in a group like really was like weighing on me. So I took like 2 shots of vodka before I went to AA. And so I went, and then they do the whole thing, like, oh, what's your name? And it's like, oh, when was the last time you drank? And I was just like, oh, I don't know, like 15 minutes ago. And so then
15 minutes ago.
2 shots.
No. The best part was
She
they were
said 2
30
shots.
minutes into the meeting.
yeah.
Like they were like, "What do you mean 15 minutes ago? We were here for 2 hours every day. Every
shots
Tuesday,
in the
2 hours at the
bathroom.
YMCA.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the session.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I knew I was about to go on stage and talk to people. So.
Yeah,
Yo,
so
you just hear in the back like a really somber.
this tampon's really
Like,
working.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot that's a thing, right? You
That's
can
a
soak in an
thing.
alcohol and put it
That's
inside
a
your
thing.
body.
Yeah.
From 2 women, and you said you were getting drunk a lot. Is that actually like a fucking moment for women to do that? Or
I've
is that
never done
taboo?
That's millennial shit.
I've never
Taboo-
done
so
it.
taboo,
I've
taboo.
never done
That's-
it. I've never
I'm
done
not
it.
saying it's taboo. I'm saying that's millennial shit because I drink my liquor like a fucking champ, like a real ass.
Straight
I
in
don't
the
know
eye.
if it's millennial
Like-
shit. I don't know. I mean, I would like to because I love
I think
shitting
it's
on
millennial
millennials.
shit.
No offense.
No.
I love shitting on millennials
He loves.
I don't think you can offend the millennials.
too, but no, I don't think it's millennial shit because I think that that's been done by older alcoholics. Like I feel like that's an old thing in the game.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that that's anything new. I think people have been doing that because the whole thing is the people started doing that so that they didn't have liquor on their breath. That's not a new.
Okay.
That's not a new
They
thought.
also used to
But
drink it
the
in the
whole
eye as
point
well.
of
Wait,
Oh
how
my
do you
God,
drink
in
it
the eye.
Wait, how do you
Yeah.
drink in your eye?
I've done that before. You put a bottle of vodka to your eye and you put it back.
Are you?
It's
No,
That's
I don't
soaked
do eye
directly.
shit. There was one time
You
during the
don't
NBA.
do eye shit.
No, there was one time during the NBA Finals. They
Does
had
that come
a
up?
scary movie, and it was like a creature going into an eye, and I was so pissed off. I almost called like CBS. I was like, that should not be allowed. Rodney, get yourself together. Get your shit together.
It's like tissues and shit. He's good.
I'm not
He's
gonna
got
put
like booger brothers.
Rodney
I'm not
just
gonna-
thought about the love of his life, and he, wasn't.
I'm like such a mom with the tissues right now.
You really did pull that out of your mom bag.
Someone
Yeah.
dropped tissues on my lap.
Is
on
that
the
is that one of your
subway
people?
And it had a note on it.
The mom,
The
that-
tissue
for-
lady.
yeah, the tissue
Tissues,
lady,
please
because
give
like
a
I
small
don't have any
donation.
children
Like,
yet,
tissues
so
are like
like
20 cents.
I just had to give tissues to people.
Like
But
20
we
cent
really
Walgreens
we
tissue,
should
bro.
take a quick break, you
Like
guys.
foreign,
Yeah, we should.
Wait, I have to pee.
We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I
This has
can't-
been Big Talk and Brewskis.
Mm.
Bye.
Bye.